Hey, welcome back to Enigmatica 2, where in the last video we built up this big production plant to process all of the various ores we get out of the void miner. It's not currently running because it's not very good right now, mostly because I don't have a decent way of getting hydrogen chloride. I did leave this running for a long time while I waited to get chironite, and that's left me with a bunch of brine to make it, but even after massively improving how much salt I gather, I am still very short of producing the amount of brine I need. And I've been told that, yeah, I pretty much just have to use the thermal evaporation chamber. So that's one thing to do in this video. Another thing I've done on my own is kind of changed the building quite a lot. I no longer have the pyramid roofs, and it's just kind of an altered A-frame. And I decided to connect it to the side bits just because those were looking a bit weird. Although I have done it in a bit of an odd way, but I kind of like that. And last time I was wondering what kind of an accenting block to do, and I was initially thinking on using crystallized mineral, because that's a very nice shade and texture, but crystallized mineral is really, really annoying to get in large quantities. And the mineral wood is still pretty good. So that's what I've gone for here, and I've done it all the way along the top as well. So I'm feeling a lot better about this building now than I was before. It is quite a lot larger than anything else I've got around here, but it is going to be housing very large things eventually. Speaking of, that leads me to the first thing to do in this video, which is upgrade the void miner, because I've left this running long enough that I should have enough chironite to do that. So let's see. I can make the 6 blocks to be able to upgrade the controller, but how about the frames? I need 56. So I'm just short. I need some more iridium for that. Okay then. Good thing I didn't fully finish this. So I'm just gonna have to leave this for a while to generate that iridium. So then I guess while I wait, I may as well solve the brine here, because I don't think that's gonna be too bad. It's pretty easy to make the, whatever these blocks are, these are the main block of the multi-block. I think I need 2 valves, one for input, one for output. And for the control block, I should just need an ultimate fluid tank and some ultimate control circuits. Then where should I put this? I'm thinking maybe I put it around the back here. That could work. And I'm just now realizing I do not have enough of these thermal evaporation blocks. I don't know how much steel I've got, but I can make it about 40 or so. Oh, there's a quest for it. It's saying 37. Okay, that's probably enough. I don't know exactly how big this is. A 3x3 feels too small. Maybe not once I get all the blocks in. Is that it? Incomplete. Do I just need to open up the roof? Nope. Is it a 4x4? Oh, that's done something. Okay, I guess it's a 4x4. If I just throw a water source on there, yeah, it's making brine. And reasonably quickly too. I don't know if it becomes faster the larger this is, or if it's just more storage. But either way, I definitely need to be inputting more water. How about with a compact water source? How much faster is that? Okay, it's filling the water backlog faster than it's being produced. Or converted into brine, rather. And yeah, that's making the brine a lot faster than the melter was. So I can then connect this in to extract the brine, and it should fill up pretty quick. I can still leave the melter going, because as long as I've got this infrastructure, it can still help. Let's put this to the test. If I put a stack of ore in, can I split it up? It seems like it's getting enough hydrogen chloride. The infuse is keeping up. I'm running out of chlorine though. Yeah, still not getting quite enough brine. But that did still go through a whole stack of lead, even if it did run through, I don't know, half of my chlorine supply. Much better than it was before, that's for sure. Okay, so if I just make more thermal evaporation blocks, yeah, I guess I can make a whole stack. Can I just make this taller? Yeah? Is it any quicker? Possibly. Okay, this is quite a lot taller now, and it produces 21 millibuckets per tick. I think that's pretty good. I should now be producing a lot more brine. This has filled itself up very quickly, so let's try this again. Now I'm not keeping up on hydrogen, but I'm also not keeping up on chlorine. I think I need a better water source here too. Well, that one can still be upgraded pretty easily. There we go. That's a lot better. So then, I basically just need to make this tower bigger, and then it produces more brine. I'll just go with another stack of these thermal evaporation blocks. It's 14 high. I'm still not keeping up. It does build back up pretty quickly, and I'm probably still producing enough to be able to keep up with how much gets mined. So it might just take a while for me to get through this backlog. But I feel reasonably safe in just letting this go. Then I'm just going to put all of these ingots into place. Okay, that should be one item in every slot here. So I should be good to just let this go. Let's hope for the best. Oh, wait a minute. I'm going to stop that because I've just realized this is probably going to be full. I should get some drawer upgrades before I start wasting all that stuff. I could probably make this highest tier storage upgrade because litherite is fairly cheap at this point. How many can I make? 14? Yeah, that feels like enough. Now these can all store 504 stacks. Okay, let's set this going again. And even just... okay, no, it's running multiple slots now, but I am rapidly running out of chlorine. But maybe it's still going to be able to get through this backlog? I don't know. I'll find out soon enough. And there goes all the hydrogen chloride. Well, it seems like every other part of the system is fine. I'm just not getting enough brine to keep up with the injecting factory. But I have still gotten through quite a backlog of ores here. So I can probably just leave this be and it'll eventually clear itself out. Well, in the meantime, I should have gotten... I got enough iridium crystals to make all of the frames, but I spent all my litherite. I have a different idea though. If I just steal the frames from the solar panels, because, let's face it, that wasn't generating much power anyway. Now I've got enough to make the rest of those frames. And I can make that tier 3 controller. And I need 52 structure panels. There's 16 on the previous one, I've already got 4. So that's another 32. That's not so bad. And then I just need one more laser core. And I should have what I need. I should only need to go down one more block. And I think I need to go one more block out. But beyond that, I don't really remember how the structure goes. So I'm just going to make it this way. And I think I'm going to leave this as a clear laser lens. Because if I made it blue, I could get the palladium very quickly. But I kind of want a lot more of the other crystals too. So I'm just going to leave it clear. Anyway, that's enough for the void miner. I want to move on to something else in this video. Because I've been thinking about what to do next. For the immediate future, it's still just going to be environmental tech progress. But the second to last mod here is probably going to be draconic. And to do anything in draconic, I'm going to need a lot of draconium. And to my knowledge, yes, it is obtainable in a tier 6 void miner, but a tier 6 void miner changes what it can mine. It mines significantly less than a tier 5 miner does. So I'm somewhat inclined to not go to tier 6 for that reason. But that means I'm not going to be able to get draconium. However, I can get it through mystical agriculture. It's a tier 5 seed, which means it's not going to need a crux, so I can do it much easier. But I do still need quite a lot of stuff. I didn't check this recipe beforehand, but I might be able to get this. But to be able to get into mystical agriculture stuff, I'm still going to need an infusion crystal. And to do this, I need to get a decent ways through Botania. Not terribly far. The hard part here is probably the Elementium, because that needs elven trading. But even that's not terribly far into Botania. And then of course I need a big altar, so I'm going to have to do a bunch of astral sorcery. But I think the low-hanging fruit here is Botania. And Botania is not terribly fun, but I think I'm just going to have to deal with it long enough to get all of this stuff. And I think I can probably do that by the end of this video. So I'm going to have to come back to this area and see what I can do. Well, I'm just going to continue where I left off, and I think the next thing to do is the runic altar. Great recipe. I just need a rock crystal, living rock, and a mana diamond. I've got plenty of rock crystal down here. A mana diamond is nothing, and living rock is also pretty easy, so I can get the runic altar pretty easily. Alright, now, I think before I get too committed here, I'm just gonna move the botania stuff, because I do not have much space here. And I reckon this area is pretty good for that. So I don't need too terribly much space right now, but I am going to need more soon. So with the runic altar, I can now make a bunch of runes. There doesn't seem to be a quest for it though. So I'm just going to go straight to the terrestrial agglomeration plate, which does require me to make a bunch of runes. So I guess I can just work through all of these. I can start with the fire rune. I just need nether wart, nether brick, gunpowder, mana powder, and mana steel. Then am I able, if I put a spark there, and then on the runic altar? No. Why does the runic altar not accept sparks? That's annoying. Fine. But anyway, there's the fire runes. What do I need for the rest of them? What do I need for the rune of air? Mana powder and mana steel. I think that's the same for all of these. Then carpet, feather, string. So that's pretty easy. And for water, bone meal, sugarcane, and a fishing rod. So that's pretty easy. Rune of earth is mushroom, block of coal, and stone. Again, very easy. And then the last one, the rune of mana, just mana steel and a mana pearl. So that's possibly the easiest of the lot. So then that's all I need for the terrestrial agglomeration plate. Then this just goes like that. And please tell me, yes, this can take a spark. So then what do I need for terra steel? Mana pearl, mana steel, and a mana diamond. Oh, and this says I need about half a mana pool's worth of mana to make one terra steel. Okay, I feel like that's going to take a while. Well, if I just triple the amount of ender flames I've got, hopefully I can generate mana quicker. I don't know if it's going to be quick enough, but maybe it's going to be fine for the time being. I can at least throw some black lotuses in to get a little bit more mana. But not that much. Thankfully, I'm not going to need much terra steel, because I only need, I think, 2 Natura pylons. So that's only 1 ingot. Well, I guess while I'm waiting, I may as well get all the stuff I need for the portal to Alfheim. It should mostly just be living wood, so I can get that. Then I need this Elven Gateway core. Okay. Why does it have to be 4 terra steel nuggets? That's such an annoying amount. Well, the actual blocks here, I don't have much of a problem with. It's getting the Celestial Altar. And the Celestial Altar also isn't that bad. I need reinforced slates, but that doesn't need much blood magic at all. And then a Starlight Crafting Altar, I can probably make that already. Okay, this might not be so bad. Honestly, I think the hardest part here is going to be making all of the Starlight Altars. But even that isn't that bad. Yeah, this is just going to take a while, but I can do this. Well, all the stuff for the Starlight Crafting Altar itself is pretty easy. There. But I'm just gonna need a lot of marble to make this altar. And you know what? I think I'm gonna put this altar directly on top of the botania stuff. There we go. That should be everything I need for this altar. It is quite high off the ground, because I still need space for botania beneath it. But this is still mostly usable. Right, now I need to turn it into a celestial altar. And everything here should be fairly easy, except for these reinforced slates, because I need a tier 2 blood altar. Oh, and a blood altar is a bit of a pain. I'll get onto that in a minute. I'll just try and do the easy stuff for now, because all of this doesn't take very long at all. And if I remember rightly, a tier 2 altar isn't that bad. Well, I guess before I make the blood altar, I should probably just start blood magic. So I need a rudimentary snare. Mana steel's fine. Enchanted fabric's fine. A redstone root is weird, but fine. So there's some snares. And that starts blood magic chapter. Now I just need to find a mob. Here, a creeper. Throw a snare at it. Until that. And kill it. And it drops demonic will. Right now it doesn't really matter the will quality, I just need will in general. Right, then apparently the quest doesn't require an altar? I still need to make the blood altar itself, and that's where I needed the demonic will. And most of the altar is fairly easy. I just need this glass lens. So I need mana glass, aquamarines, quicksilver, and mirrored glass. So this shouldn't be so bad. There's the blood altar. Then I'm also just going to need to make a sacrificial dagger so that I can actually fill this with blood. And then to get this to tier 2, I need 8 blank runes. And for that I need 2 things. I need a weak blood orb, and I need 16 blank slates. If I claim this, should give me some of what I need. I'm going to need to convert all the living rock. Also, it's given me this potion of regen, so that can help me fill this with blood as I go. Also, the mana diamond is what I use to make the weak blood orb. I don't think it needs any blood in it to do crafts. I don't know. I guess we'll see. It's not too bad to put blood in it anyway. Right, that should be enough blank slates so that I can make the 8 blank runes that I just place around in a circle to upgrade the altar. That should now count as a tier 2 altar, and I'll be able to tell if this upgrades the slate. And it has. Good. So then if I take these reinforced slates up to the altar, I can then upgrade this. Ooh, now it's got the cool particles. There, now I've got the celestial altar. I'm gonna need a new altar surrounding this. I should be able to make this, assuming I have enough marble. There we go. I think... Is that the altar? No. There we go. And this should be the final altar I need, because this is also the one that makes the infusion crystal. But for now, I just need the Elven Gateway core. And I should have enough mana now to be able to make 1 Terra Steel. I am still just going to keep generating more, because I need more Terra Steel. But there's that. And with the Terra Steel nuggets, I think that's all I'm missing for the Gateway core. Because I got some resonating gems, either from a loot crate or a dungeon chest, I don't remember. But that skips me having to deal with Starlight Infusion. Then I've got plenty of star metal from the laser drill, and everything else I already have. So I'm basically just waiting until nighttime. But something tells me I'm not gonna get that much star power. So I think I'm gonna need to make a couple of these spectral relays. They're fairly simple. I basically just need to make a bunch of glass lenses. So I'm just gonna make 6 lenses, and then I can make 3 relays, and then I can place some of these spectral relays around, and they should all provide additional starlight. But still not quite enough. Okay, I've doubled the number of relays. There's now 6 of them. And yes, that is enough. There we go. Now, I'm quickly going to have to make another Terra Steel ingot, because I'm going to be 1 nugget short. So then I can make 2 mana pylons, and turn them into Natura pylons. So now, back here, I can set up all the stuff I should need for the portal, and I should basically just need to give it a bit of mana. So I'll set all this going, but for some reason this mana spreader can't reach. Oh wait, that's why it's not working, because there's stuff in the way. There we go. Oh, and I can... no, I don't quite have enough mana in there to be able to keep the portal open. But it didn't drain the mana, so I just gotta leave it for a bit. Okay, I've got a bit of mana in these pools. Is this enough to open the portal? No. I'm probably gonna need a lot of mana, and these spreaders take a while. And I don't know if I have the time left to be able to wait for all of this. But either way, I feel like I've done a decent amount of progress for this video. Because what's this, like 3 separate mods that I've done a decent amount of? I knew I wasn't gonna be able to go all the way, but I wanted to see how far I could push it. I thought I might have been able to finish Botania stuff in this video, but I didn't realize how much of Astral I had to do. So I've gotten, I don't know, 2/3 of the way through both of them. So there shouldn't be that much left of either mod. Because to my knowledge, the Celestial Altar is the final astral thing that I need, and the Elven Gateway is the final botania thing that I need. I just haven't got the things out of them that I need. So I'm more or less done with both of these mods now. And that feels like enough to do in one video. And that wasn't the only thing. We also made this whole brine thing, and the tier 3 void miner, and also that's long since run through its backlog. So yeah, I'm generating enough brine. So I guess I can leave this running for a while to just generate a lot of stuff for me. And hopefully get a bunch of the crystals too, because I'm going to be needing a lot of them soon. But anyway, I think that's enough for this video. Next time I can probably finish what I started here, because there's a couple things that I want out of all of this. Might have to do a bit more blood magic, might need to upgrade the altar, who knows, we'll find out next time. But for now, I don't think I have anything else to say, so I'm going to call the video here. Bye.